In this clip I will show you how to enable and configure CO2 regulation for the UltraLink. To be able to regulate on CO2, you obviously first need to add a sensor that reports CO2 to the UltraLink. There is another clip available showing you how that is done. After the sensor is added and data from the sensor has arrived, it is possible to use this data for regulation. Launch the UltraLink app to set up the regulation parameters. Press scan. Find your device and connect to it. Enter the PIN code. And now we are connected. First, make sure that we actually have a sensor connected that reports CO2. We do that by going into the configuration menu and wireless sensors. Here we can see that there are two active sensors indicated by the green color. The first one is the presence sensor, so there we don't have any CO2 reading. The second sensor, however, is a CO2 sensor, so we have CO2 data for regulation. So let's go back to configuration and push room regulation. On top you can see the 5 different parameters that can be used for regulation. The second one is CO2 regulation, so let's click on that one. Now we can see that control variable says off. If we click control variable, we get 4 different options: off, minimum, maximum and average. And this is due to the fact that we can have several CO2 sensors connected to the same UltraLink, so we actually get more than one CO2 reading into the product. And here we need to tell which value we want to use for the regulation. Should we use the minimum value, the maximum value, or the average value? In this case, we only have one CO2 sensor, so it doesn't matter what we select. Let's use average. As soon as we have changed the control variable to average, the CO2 regulation starts to operate. And the regulation is done according to the graph that you can see in the image. You can also see that there are a set of parameters with slide bars that you can change. Moving them changes the graph in real time, so you can see how the regulation will be done depending on the CO2 reading. If you want more information regarding the different parameters and what they do, I suggest that you click on the information button on top and you will get a description of the different parameters. Thank you.